Just mentioned the recall election. We are getting word late this afternoon that, in fact, the campaign to remove Governor Newsom has now submitted enough verified signatures to qualify for that recall election. The California Secretary of State's office says that more than 1.6 million signatures have now been submitted and verified. To qualify, the recall campaign needed roughly 1.4 million signatures, so it got well above that. Today's milestone means it is nearly all but certain that a recall election will happen later this year, as David mentioned, but it's not a done deal yet. Counties still have until Thursday to verify any remaining signatures. There's also a 30 business day period in which voters can ask to have their names removed from this recall petition. But David, boy, if you are Governor Gavin Newsom, what does this day mean for you?
Well, you use it as a fundraising tool first and foremost. You make sure that no Democrats get on the ballot that could potentially challenge you, and you worry about a celebrity entering the race. Now, obviously, Caitlyn Jenner getting it on Friday was big news that day, but you worry about subsequent celebrities and what that looks like. The ballot won't be solidified. That is, we won't know who the candidates are on the ballot, and potentially there could be hundreds of people on the ballot. We won't know that until the August timeframe. And as you know, and as your viewers know, October and November can be really rough months for the state of California. That can be really rough sledding for a governor who's pretty popular. His popularity has come down, but hopefully from their standpoint, kids are back in school. If you're the Republicans, you're looking for that star candidate, someone who can really push this guy out, because that would give you an opportunity to really push the California narrative as a counter to what's happening in the White House. That would be huge. So watch what Donald Trump does during this whole episode.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, we've got several months between now and then. What do you think the strategy will be of Governor Newsom and of Republicans? I mean, you mentioned it a little bit there, but I mean, really, they both have really got to be strategizing at this point.
They do. And really what's key is those voters that maybe declined to state or middle of the road voters, but who voted for Gavin Newsom in 2018. If you're Newsom and his team, you want to keep those voters while drying out the Democratic base. That's called the base plus election. You're going to need those population centers of voters in places like Los Angeles and the San Francisco Bay Area. If you're a Republican, you want to draw out your base. And at the same time, you don't want to have too many candidates in the race that could fracture that narrative, raise a lot of money, and at the same time go after those declined to state purple people, those middle of the road voters who want their kids back in school. That battle will become the national, if not international, political story of the year. This is going to be a huge race. It'll be at least $100 million and could be as much as $400 million to actually conduct the recall itself, especially if there's several hundred people on the ballot.
Yeah, very expensive and obviously highly watched. All right. Really appreciate you coming on the show this afternoon. A lot for us to discuss. David McEwen of Sonoma State. Always a pleasure. Thank you.